In this video, we're going to learn about the code, pre, and br elements. These elements will help you format things like poetry or computer code. Now we're going to learn about the code element, and the code element represents a fragment of computer code. This could be an XML element name, a file name, a computer program, or any other string that a computer would recognize, or any other piece of text that a computer might recognize. So, let's go ahead and try it out. We'll delete what we have here. And we'll start out by writing a new paragraph. And we'll say, when we use the drive method or function on the vehicle object, it moves forward. Now, drive is the name of the function, and vehicle is the name of an object. These are things that are inside of a computer program, and if you don't understand what that means, don't worry about it. That's not really important right now. We'll go ahead and wrap the drive function inside of the code tags so that the browser knows that this is computer code, even though it's not code that will actually get executed. Next, let's go ahead and wrap the word vehicle in the code tags, because vehicle is the name of an object inside of a computer program. And we'll go ahead and save that out. And when we switch back to the browser and refresh, you can see that we now have our normal paragraph there. But if you look at the words drive and vehicle, you'll notice that they're in a special monospaced font. And that way, somebody reading this would know that drive and vehicle are references to something that might appear inside of a computer program and not necessarily the same as the rest of the words on the page. Using cascading style sheets, you can actually target these code tags and style them any way you'd like, but this is the default styling that the browser applies all on its own. Next, sort of similar to the code element, is the pre element. The pre element represents a block of pre-formatted text. So let's go ahead and try that out. We'll switch back to our text editor, and after our paragraph tag, we'll go ahead and use the pre tag, just like that. And then we'll open it up, and we'll start typing, here is some text. We'll jump down 2 spaces, and we'll say, it is ... And then we'll jump down another line, tab over a little bit, and we'll say pre-formatted! So we'll go ahead and save that. We'll switch back to the browser and refresh the page. And as you can see, our pre-formatted text retains the formatting that we put into our text editor. So it is dropped down by 2 lines, and then we also have the tabs with the word pre-formatted. This is different than the way that paragraphs behave. If you were to do this to a paragraph, all of this would appear on the same line, and you wouldn't have any of that spacing or any of those tabs. You'll also notice that by default, the pre-formatted text is slightly indented from the left side of the browser. This is normal. So now let's use the code element in combination with the pre element, because oftentimes when you type out computer code, the formatting of it is very important and you want to retain that. So let's go ahead and try that out. We'll switch back to the browser and we'll jump down a little bit further. We'll type out another pre element, and then inside of our pre element, we'll put in some code tags. And then inside of our code tags, we'll go ahead and type some pseudocode, which is just fake computer code that doesn't actually mean anything. So we'll say, if not foo, then bar equals 3. So we'll save that out. switch back to the browser and refresh the page. And as you can see, we now have some nice computer code that is pre-formatted. Again, just to remind you, the code tags do not mean that the code will actually be executed. It's just a semantic tag to let the browser know and the user know that this is computer code and not the same as just normal text. Finally, we have the BR element, or the break element. The BR element represents a line break, and it is a self-closing tag, similar to a meta tag or a horizontal rule. So let's go ahead and try it out. We'll switch back to our text editor and scroll down a little bit and make some room to work. So we'll go ahead and type out a paragraph element, and inside of it, we'll say this is the first line of the poem, and then we'll type another sentence that says this is the second line. Now, let's go ahead and switch back to the browser and refresh the page. And as you can see, we now have our paragraph there containing our short little poem. We'll switch back to our text editor and let's go ahead and just drop these down a few lines because we want the second line of our poem to be on the second line with a line break from the first sentence. So if we do that and we switch back to the browser and refresh, as you can see, nothing has actually happened. So, like I said before, the paragraph element does not work like the pre element and does not preserve formatting. So, we can still add in some formatting to our paragraph elements using the BR element or break element. So let's go ahead and try that out. Like I said, BR is a self-closing tag, and we want to put the BR tag where we want the line break. And in this case, we want the line break to occur after our first sentence, so it breaks the second line down to the second line of the paragraph. So we'll save that out, switch back, and refresh the page. And as you can see, we now have a line break using the BR tag. In many cases, text must be displayed or formatted in a very specific way, and these elements can help you do that. In the next video, we'll start learning about other elements to help us format specific types of text.